Hello, this is Matt Zilla with another video. Today I have a document. It is called Trapped in a Black Box, Growing Terrorism Watchlisting in Everyday Policing. It is issued by the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, and it was issued out in April 2016. This is a very important document because it sheds light on targeted individuals. I'm here at a summary page, and this is pretty much going to sum up what this document is about. The primary purpose of the watch list, and right there it says, they have some acronyms there, and it says file. That pretty much just means a watch list file. So the primary purpose of the watch list file is not law enforcement, but the surveillance and tracking of individuals for indefinite periods. Their conclusion is that targeting people on this watch list is not law enforcement. It is just simply used as surveillance and tracking of individuals for indefinite periods of time. Now let's move on. Another thing that this document talks about is that the FBI and other government agencies, that means it's going to be the FBI working with Department of Homeland Security, which works with fusion centers, which works with InfraGard, Citizen Corps, and they use silent hits to track encounters with a watch-listed person without alerting frontline law enforcement officers. What this means is a lot of these law enforcement officers, the majority of them at least, do not know that you are being tracked or that you are being surveilled under this watch list. The third thing that this document talks about is redress for individuals who are erroneously placed in the watch list file is essentially non-existent, which just means that if you are put on this watch list, you have little to no recourse to get you off this watch list. So once you're on this watch list, pretty much you really cannot do anything about it. Now there are three types of people that are put on watch lists, and we're going to go over all three. The first ones are called subjects of full investigations. The second subject is called subject of preliminary investigations. The third type of nomination is the non-investigative subject nomination, or in other words, it is the targeted individual nomination. And in this nomination, you're not really being investigated. You are just being used for experiment. You're being used for harassment, psychological harassment. It says here, as the foregoing analysis makes clear, the FBI watch listing practices for non-investigative subjects are ripe for abuse. Why? Because it's done in secret. Please watch former US Congressman Trey Gowdy question Department of Homeland Security Secretary.
What process is afforded a U.S. citizen, not someone who's overstayed a visa, not someone who crossed the border without permission, but an American citizen? What process is currently afforded an American citizen before they go on that list?
I'm sorry, there's not a process afforded the citizen prior to getting on the list. There is a process should someone feel they are unduly placed on the list.
Yes, there is. And when I say process, I'm actually using half of the term due process, which is a phrase we find in the Constitution, that you cannot deprive people of certain things without due process. So I understand Mr. Good's idea, which is wait until your right has been taken from you and then you can petition the government to get it back. I understand that that's his idea. My question is, can you name another constitutional right that we have that is chilled until you find out it's chilled and then you have to petition the government to get it back? Is that true with the First Amendment?
Sir, there are strict criteria before.
That's not my question, ma'am. That is not my question. My question is, what process is afforded a United States citizen before that person's constitutional right is infringed? then he's fine with doing it with the Second Amendment. My question is, how about the First? How about we not let them set up a website or a Google account? How about we not let them join the church until they can petition government to get off the list? How about not get a lawyer? How about the Sixth Amendment? How about you can't get a lawyer until you petition the government to get off the list? Or my favorite, how about the Eighth Amendment? We're going to subject you to cruel and unusual punishment until you petition the government to get off the list. Is there another constitutional right that we treat the same way for American citizens that we do the Second Amendment? Can you think of one? Can you think of one?
I don't have an answer for you, sir.